Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel Uniplex. Guys, in today's video, we will be showing 10 scary tsunami and wave moments caught on dashcams, which have caused significant financial loss to people, and some individuals luckily escaped from nearby deaths. So without wasting any more time, let's start today's video. Sochi, Russia is a large resort city on the Black Sea. They're best known for hosting the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. That's the one when Russia got caught doping all their athletes. The living conditions were also terrible. One German photographer said workers and stray dogs were still walking in and out of under-construction media hotels. Long after the Games ended on December 1st of 2021, a freak storm on the Black Sea battered Sochi with massive waves. A few spectators filmed from their hotel balcony as water leaped the retaining wall and flooded the area. It looks like that water was well on its way to the road behind the hotel. We're not sure how much damage the storm caused, as information from Russia isn't easy to come by. On May 24, 2021, a Norwegian rescue vessel had an important job to do. Unfortunately, that meant sailing through storm force 12 winds blowing over 70 miles per hour. The winds spurred massive waves out on the North Sea, which is already known for having some of the roughest waters on Earth. If things got any worse, this vessel might have needed its own rescue ship. Those waves crashed so hard that they sounded like multiple bombs were going off. Just when our cameraman thought he was in the clear, one final nightmare wave appeared over the bow. You can hear loose items falling all around him as that last monster wave crashes into the boat. Think of how big that wave had to be to casually break over the ship's bow. According to the Beaufort scale, Storm Force 12 waves can get over 46 feet high. The air fills with spray and sea foam, which severely impacts visibility. You won't see one of these monster waves until it's too late. If you zoom in on Greenland, you'll notice dozens of tiny islands surrounding the larger landmass. One of those islands, located in the Curated Fjord, houses the tiny fishing community of Nuugaatsiaq. They sit on a thin peninsula overlooking Baffin Bay. On June 17th of 2017, they made international headlines after a tsunami nearly washed the village away. It all started when a massive landslide on one of the fjord's steep slopes fell into the water. Millions of tons of rock plunged into the water. It was so intense that it registered as a 4.1 magnitude earthquake on nearby seismometers. The displacement caused water levels to rise nearly 300 feet, about 20 miles from town. While the wave shrunk significantly as it reached Nuugaatsiaq, it was still big enough to cause catastrophic damage. It looked like the water was about to recede. Our two fishermen probably thought they were in the clear, but the sea had other ideas. This is another one of those situations where you don't realize how dangerous it is until the water is right on top of you. Thankfully, our fishermen were able to escape the wave. They did get a little wet though. When the tsunami landed, it wiped away 45 structures, including 11 houses. Footage from elsewhere in the community showed how easily the water destroyed people's homes and livelihoods. The landslide that triggered the tsunami was truly enormous. Between 1.2 and 1.8 billion cubic feet of rock broke free from the cliffside and fell into the fjord. Even after everything calmed down, locals in the affected villages couldn't return home, assuming their homes were still standing. They had to relocate until experts determined the area wasn't at risk for more landslides. Unfortunately, it was. In October of 2020, Greenland extended the closure of Nuugaatsiaq and part of the fjord until further notice. The Ganges River is a 1,500-mile waterway rising in the Himalayan mountains and flowing to the Bay of Bengal. It's India's most important body of water, with its basin supporting hundreds of millions of people. On March 28th of 2023, bystanders in the Indian megacity of Kolkata the city formerly known as Calcutta, watched a massive tidal wave roar up the Ganges. It's the kind of wave that doesn't look too scary until it's right on top of you. Tidal bores like this clearly draw a crowd to the Ganges River, though it's not the kind of water you'd want to go play in. Even though the Ganges is a religious symbol and critical to life in India, it is among the most polluted bodies of water on Earth. The most toxic source of pollution is perhaps the least visible. Millions of gallons of raw, untreated sewage flow into the Ganges every day. You'd never know unless you stumbled upon a drainage canal near one of the major cities. While this tidal wave is surely impressive, it's hard to ignore what else might be in the water. The Austin Spirit was a 26,000-ton ferry operating out of the UK. It used to be owned by the English ferry company P&O Ferries and had been travelling around the UK since 1987. Back in the day, she used to be called the MS Pride of Calais, but these boats tend to change names whenever someone new buys them. The Ostend reached the end of its life in April of 2013. The company she was sailing for, Trans-European Ferries, went bankrupt and couldn't pay their workers. So, they decommissioned the Ostend and sent the ferry to its final destination, a scrapyard in eastern Turkey. What you're about to see was done 100% on purpose.
Tsunami, resmen tsunami yaptı.
Now that's what we call a perfect execution. The captain had one simple job: steer the boat toward the scrapyard and thread the needle between two other ship husks. The further up he crashed, the better. That's because it's way easier to salvage a ship for parts while it's on land. Running aground is also cheaper than cutting it in the ocean and using barges to drag the pieces out. Ship salvaging is a booming business in Aliağa, Turkey. It apparently took hundreds of workers several months to rip the Austin Spirit apart. Guys, this video was recorded on the 10th of April 2020 in Kolkata. Eager locals gathered to watch this tidal board travel down the Ganges River. They are about to learn how destructive one of these waves can be. The wave made quick work of the pier, but at least it didn't wash away. Hopefully some workers could get out there and put it back in place. According to reports, this wave occurred after several days of heavy rain. That makes sense considering how tidal bores are known to form. They occur along a coast where the river empties into a large body of water. In this case, it's the Bay of Bengal. Basically, tidal bores are strong tides that push up river against the current. They get bigger as the river narrows. Changes in depth, which can happen due to heavy rain, also affect their size. The Superstar Aquarius was a $240 million cruise liner, last owned by a Hong Kong-based company called Star Cruises. Unfortunately, the company went bankrupt after shutting down during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Superstar was sold for scrap in 2022. Before the end, the Superstar had been cruising around the world since 1993. On August 8th of 2015, she proved how agile a big cruise ship can be when she had to outrun a typhoon off the coast of Taiwan. Needless to say, the passengers on board weren't having a good time.
But because it was the paint trap and the hydroblast was put together. So
On average, waves out in the open ocean only get about 6.5 feet high. Only a handful of waves will top 20 feet on a calm day. But storms are a whole other ballgame. When the wind picks up, the waves can double, triple, or even quadruple in size. That was the case when Typhoon Sotalor formed off the coast of China in the summer of 2015. We believe this is the storm that Superstar was trying to outrun, as it's the only one that lines up with the dates. The storm formed deep in the Pacific Ocean on July 28th and arrived in the Taiwan Strait a little over a week later. De Hoop Shipyard in the Netherlands has been designing and building ships since 1889. That makes them one of the oldest shipbuilding companies in the country. They build massive vessels for customers worldwide, including this 2,100-ton supply ship for the UAE. The Esnad 224, now operating as the Adnoc 224, set sail on October 31st of 2015. The 213-foot supply vessel was built for the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. It was actually the fourth built out of a 10-ship order. A ship launch at De Hoop usually attracts a crowd. You'd think at least a few of these people would be prepared to get wet. By our count, we only spotted 2 people with proper footwear. Maybe this was everyone else's first major ship launch. The Esnad 224 was hailed as the design of the future. De Hoop said it met the highest international class notations within both operational and environmental objectives. We assume that's shipbuilding slang for it's the perfect boat. Sayulita is a small coastal town in southwestern Mexico. It's about an hour north of Puerto Vallarta, one of the most popular resort cities in the country. Some vacationers will choose Sayulita over Puerto Vallarta to avoid the tourist-heavy crowds. Tyler is one of those vacationers. He and a buddy were enjoying a quiet time on the water when a rogue wave appeared out of nowhere. While it appeared harmless at first, the boat captain knew they had to get out of there.
I was wondering why you... Jesus. Look at that, Dave. Look at that. Tsunami? Really?
By definition, rogue waves are at least twice the size of all other surrounding waves. They are extremely unpredictable and still baffle scientists today. Sailors have called them walls of water on the open ocean, but as seen in this video, they can spawn much closer to shore. For the longest time, rogue waves were considered sailors' myths, like Davy Jones and the Kraken. They've only been accepted as real in recent decades, but because they are so random, tracking and measuring them is impossible. Ilulissat, Greenland is a small city on the country's west coast. It's home to about 4,600 people and 3,100 sled dogs. That's because dog sledding is an important piece of Greenlandic culture and a major tourist attraction. But sledding isn't the only thing tourists like to do when visiting this part of the world. Many like to come to see the massive glaciers Greenland is known for. On the mainland, 80% of the surface area, or roughly 660,000 square miles, is covered in ice. According to NASA, more than 220 glaciers flow away from Greenland and into the ocean. Sometimes they roll and flip over, triggering massive, freezing cold tsunami waves like this one.
Og se der bølgerne. Nu kommer det op her. Sprøjter det op med lidt. Hør, lige nu. Det der. Prøv at se bølgen. Ja. Hele vejen hen. Det der over ved huset.
Imagine standing on your porch and seeing that wave coming toward you. Those boaters out on the fjord are lucky they didn't capsize. In case you're wondering, surface water temperature in Greenland ranges from 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the north to 43 degrees Fahrenheit in the south. They don't have the kind of beaches you'd want to go swimming at. Guys, we have come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching the video for so long patiently. If you enjoy this video, you can like and comment, and if you want to see such strange and interesting videos, you can subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon next to it. See you in the next video. Until then, stay healthy, stay well. Thank you.